Welcome back. You're tuned into Midcap Radar. Well, the Midcap Index, that is seeing some pressure. So that one is down 20 odd points. However, if we look at some stocks in the broader markets, Deepak Nitrite, that has surged to the day's highs, up around 3.5%. There's a sharp spike out there. Now, remember, chemical prices have been moving up, and there was a note today that suggested that even phenol spreads, they've gone up around 7% in the last 7 days, a major product for Deepak Nitrite. So that stock is seeing a sharper spike. But it's a good time to get a technical check on the markets. Let's welcome Ashish Kayal of Wave Strategy. Ashish, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, what are the charts suggesting? It's been volatile, but dips are getting bought. What are the trends that you are seeing right now?
Hi, good afternoon. See, the overall trend for the broader market and Nifty remains positive. We can clearly see there was some kind of a nervousness in the morning when Nifty showed a nearly 200-point fall from the high of 18,600 towards 18,400, but that again got bought into. So the overall trend, I think, for this market remains buy on dips. Do not try to catch a top here. The euphoria is strong. The momentum is picking up. Stock-specific action has continued. And one very important way to look at this is if you look at the weekly chart of Nifty, it has been nearly 25 or 26 weeks now when Nifty has not closed below the prior week low. Now, that's a very simple strategy, but a very important one for trend following. For nearly 25 to 26 weeks, Nifty has not closed below the prior week's low. It has tried to break it during the week, but did not close it by the end of the week below the prior week's low. And even on the daily time frame, it has been nearly 10 days. So I think important support for the market or Nifty comes to around 18,400, which is today's low. And if it manages to cross back 18,600 on the upside, we might be heading towards that 18,700 or much higher level. So there are no targets on the upside because there is no resistance right now.
All right, no targets on the upside, but there is a stop loss at the lower level. Fair point there. Ashish, what are the individual stocks you're looking at?
The first stock pick is going to be KPIT Tech. We can clearly see today IT has been buzzing around and KPIT Tech has been consolidating. It's just showing some kind of a breakout on the upside. The volumes are picking up. There is a possibility this stock can show a very strong run up from here on. So one can create long positions in KPIT Tech, keeping a stop loss of 340 for the target of 380. And the next stock on the buy side is going to be Shriram Transport Finance. It has been quite some time. The stock has been in a huge consolidation since past 5 to 6 months. I think it can start showing a very strong breakout on the upside and should start catching up with the broader market. So Shriram Transport Finance can be a buy. Maintain a stop loss of 1400 for the target of around 1560.
Okay, all right, Ashish. Thank you so much for joining us with those picks. But let's move on and talk about our segment, Midcaps on our radar. Most fitting for the show, right? We have Agam as usual with us.
I think I'll have to interrupt you there because we do have HUL's numbers as well. Just trying to open the press release. Remember, the street was working with a revenue growth of 10% with 5 to 7% sort of volume growth coming in. Margins were expected to contract about 60 basis points with a net profit growth of just around 8.3%. The release has hit the exchanges. We should, get the first number up for you, the bottom of your screen right up. Okay, there we have it, 2187. This compares with a poll of 2175 crores. No problems out there, especially on the bottom line. Trying to get some more details on the top line as well. We were expecting a 10% sort of growth coming by. Okay, the release has opened. We have a revenue of close to around 12,700 odd crores, 12,725 crores. That's mildly better than what the street was working with, but largely in line. 12,570 was the poll. The revenue that has come by is 12,724 odd crores. That's a positive. Just trying to find the underlying volume growth, but until then, we are looking at the management commentary out there. Okay.
There are some details in the press release, Mangalam. Till the time you can actually go through more numbers out there. The company has given division as to what have they done in terms of segments. They have said that in home care grew 15%, driven by high double-digit growth in fabric wash. Household care continued to perform well and grew on a strong base. They also say that calibrated price increases were taken across fabric wash and household care portfolios to partly offset the high inflation in input costs. In beauty and personal care as well, they say that it was driven, it grew around 10%, driven by skincare, color cosmetics and hair care, and foods and refreshment grew at 7% against a strong prior year comparison. tea grew on a very strong base and further strengthened its market leadership. Focus on market development and nutrition is yielding good results. They also speak about how a lot of their products are gaining momentum. They have also spoken about they're investing behind more brands, more portfolios and future fit capabilities. Any more details that you have?
Yeah, so we do have some management commentary out there. They have taken a price hike, of course, across the portfolio. They've said that there has been unprecedented levels of input cost inflation and subdued consumer sentiment. So, you know, they aren't sounding extremely optimistic out here. EBITDA margins at 24.6%. Bang in line with street expectations, slightly above on an absolute EBITDA front. What we still don't have is the volume growth. So the three numbers that we have on Hindustan Unilever this time around, 12,724 crores in terms of a top line, 3,134 crores in terms of bottom, in terms of an EBITDA, which means margins of close to 24.6%, which is a dip of 50 basis points from the same time last year, 3132 crores, and the net profit coming in absolutely in line with street expectations, just above that 2187 odd crore mark. Management sounding cautious on the input cost inflation. We have Shirish Pardesi of Centrum Broking joining us now. Shirish, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the number came in line. I mean, just margin miss was about 20 basis points. While Pat, what you just mentioned is bang on the numbers. What we have also seen, the overall expectation, which was in line in the beauty and personal care, while we were expecting a higher growth momentum into the nutritional portfolio. While we will wait for the management commentary how this merging of front-end distributor has taken place. While I tend to believe that the discretionary has also taken a little more speed, could have taken a little more speed in the modern trade. So I think the results were in line with our expectation, while we have to wait also from the management commentary how much inflation is still behind them to take further price increases.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you some more details. Actually, the gross margins have increased quarter on quarter, and that could primarily be on account of the price hikes that the company has taken. Year on year, there has been a decline of 140 basis points. The gross margins coming in at 51.6%. This compares with 53% the same time last year, but the last quarter was 50.5%. So there has been some improvement in the premium portfolio. Among the segments, 15% growth in their home care business. The street was working with around 10 to 12 odd percent. However, personal care has grown just 10%. This at a time where the company has gone ahead and taken some price hikes in the soap portfolio as well. So maybe the volume growth is slightly below, you know, what the street was working with in their personal care portfolio. Growth of just 10% when the street expectations were close to around 12 to 14% at least, given the price hikes were taken as well. And, you know, there was some disappointment as far as the foods business is concerned as well, because that has shown a revenue growth of just 7%, where majority of the street out here was working with a number upwards of, you know, 8 to 10 odd percent. So it's lower than, you know, even the lowest estimates on the street. 7% growth in their foods and refreshment business, 10% growth in the personal care business, and 15% in their home care business. The home care business is actually outperformed this time around. Prakash Diwan joins in now. Prakash, the numbers that you've seen, we do not have the volume growth yet. There has been sequential improvement in the gross margins, but there still is some problem with the input costs. All these things are now on the table. What are your thoughts?
So, Mangalam, I think one of the key areas to watch for companies like HUL is going to be, you know, the inflationary impact of raw material costs. And if that is something which you can't keep on passing, this time around, probably they've got away with a slight improvement in gross margins. But when it comes to net margins, I don't think that's something which can be very favorable or promising going ahead. So these numbers very clearly tell you that the pricing ability to price products higher is only probably prevalent in the premium segments. And the rest of the segments, particularly food and all, there's a huge element of competitive intensity as well. Remember, the likes of Tata Consumer and all have actually upped the ante in this space. So my sense is these numbers will probably be almost like a pause of sorts. The stock would probably consolidate from here on, given these numbers, and not attract more attention or capital. So these numbers probably tell you that there's some mild signs, warning signs that probably are getting flashed.
Take that point. The company's managed to save some, money on advertising as well. Advertising as a percentage of sales is 9.5% as against 10% same time last year. So 50 basis points improvement out there. And the 10% last year, of course, was also lower than the average that we've seen, close to around 12.5 odd percent. So 200 basis points saving last year. And over that, there is a 50 basis points saving as well. The stock is now flying. Maybe the street likes that there has been a quarter-on-quarter improvement in gross margins, and the results aren't a disappointment. They're largely in line with what the street was working with. Or it could also be that there has been some, there has been some mention of the underlying volume growth, which we can't watch in the press release yet. But, we're just trying to figure out. It's been an 11% growth in the domestic consumer business. Still do not know the volume growth. The street likes these numbers primarily because they are not disappointing. In fact, marginally better on the top line. And we are seeing some improvement in the gross margins quarter on quarter.
Okay, so that's the update as far as HUL is concerned. Mangalam, thank you so much for making sense of those numbers. Of course, we'll keep coming back to you with more analysis as and when we get more details. And we do have the management as well who will be speaking to the media, and that's when we'll get more details. But for now, the stock is doing well, up around 2.6%. In fact, we also have TV18 broadcast number that are flashing for you on the screen, and it looks like a good set. The stock, in fact, is reacting to those numbers and is up around 7 odd percent as we speak. I would request my director to show me the numbers again. For now, they are looking really good. The stock, of course, has spiked to the day's high. It's up around 8%. The revenues are up 29% on a YOY basis. They've come in at that 1,308 crore mark. Net profit, an 88% increase. So the street is definitely liking those numbers. In terms of what the margins look like, that number will come up for you as well. Okay, it is around a 200 basis points increase on a YOY basis as far as the operating margins are concerned. And overall, it's a top-down beat for TV18 broadcast. The stock absolutely excited, up around 8 odd percent. Of course, standard disclaimer that TV18 broadcast is the company which operates the channel that you're watching as of now. With that, we'll slip into a short break and we'll come back with more updates on markets and stock-specific action.